Garmin just launched a brand new flagship watch yesterday, and the one sitting on store shelves right now became yesterday's news overnight, literally. Hit like and subscribe right now, because today breaks down the Fenix 8 against the brand new Fenix 9. Whether you should wait for the new one or grab the old one while it's still around, every spec, every price, and everything Garmin didn't put in the headline. Start with the Fenix 8, since it's still the watch actually sitting on shelves today. Garmin launched it back in August of 2024, and it represented a real generational leap at the time, not just a spec bump. It absorbed Garmin's entire Epix lineup, meaning for the first time, a Fenix came with a genuine AMOLED display option instead of just the older memory and pixel screen. A built-in speaker and microphone arrived too, enabling actual phone calls straight from the wrist, alongside a dive depth gauge that was a world first for this category of watch. Pricing ran from $999 up to $1199 for the AMOLED models, with a solar MIP version starting closer to $899 for buyers who wanted battery life measured in weeks instead of days. Titanium construction, sapphire crystal protection, 32 gigabytes of storage, and Garmin's Elevate version 5 heart rate sensor rounded out a genuinely well-reviewed watch that's held up strong for 2 full years. Now here's what changed yesterday. Garmin held its first ever major live-streamed product launch, called Play Harder, and announced the Fenix 9 and Fenix 9 Pro together, on the same day, which actually broke Garmin's own release pattern. The Fenix 8 Pro had launched about a year after the base Fenix 8, so everyone expected the Fenix 9 Pro to follow the same staggered timeline. Instead, Garmin dropped both tiers simultaneously. The headline upgrade is the case itself. The Fenix 9 Pro is Garmin's first ever full titanium Pro case, built using nano-molding technology, a genuine engineering first for this watch line. Satellite communication got a real upgrade too. InReach satellite messaging and LTE safety tracking are now available across all 3 case sizes on the Pro, 43, 47, and 51 millimeters, something the smallest Fenix 8 size never offered. Storage doubled to 64 gigabytes, RAM increased by 50%, and Garmin's new mapping engine pans 30% faster than the Fenix 8 and calculates routes 40% faster than even the Fenix 8 Pro. The 51mm Pro model also picked up a larger 1.5-inch display, about 15% more screen area than the Fenix 8's 1.4-inch panel. On the software side, a few genuinely new features showed up too. Garmin Epic automatically stitches multi-day adventures into a single narrative combining your photos, health data, and performance highlights. Archery X replaced the old Archery profile with real-time shooting and aiming indicators. And a full indoor rowing suite now tracks VO2 max, FTP, power curves, and lactate threshold, provided you're using a compatible rowing machine. Pricing landed in 5 configurations, running from $999 for the base model up to $1399 for the top Pro Solar. With InReach added, that satellite connectivity costs an extra $100 on top of the Pro and Pro Solar tiers specifically, and there's a display split worth knowing before you buy. The base Fenix 9 comes AMOLED only, while the Solar MIP display, the one built for multi-week battery life, moved exclusively to the Pro tier this generation. So here's the honest comparison. Battery life reporting so far suggests around 18 days for the Pro AMOLED tier specifically, though that number shifts depending on size and configuration. And it's worth being upfront that hands-on battery testing hasn't happened yet, since this watch only got announced yesterday and doesn't even ship until pre-orders open this Friday, August 28th. Everything covered here so far comes from Garmin's own official spec sheet, not independent lab testing. So treat the battery and accuracy claims as manufacturer numbers until real reviewers get their hands on one. Now, the actual question you came here for. Should you wait for the Fenix 9 or buy the Fenix 8 right now? Here's the thing. That used to be a genuinely hard question a few weeks ago, when nobody knew what the Fenix 9 would actually include or when it would show up. That uncertainty is gone now. The Fenix 9 is real, fully spec'd, and 3 days from being orderable. So the real decision isn't about waiting anymore, it's about which watch actually fits what you do. If you're a casual hiker, a gym goer, or someone who wants elite GPS tracking without needing satellite messaging or a titanium case, the Fenix 8 is still an excellent watch, and it's about to get noticeably cheaper as retailers clear inventory for the new model. There's no functional reason to pay Fenix 9 pricing if you were never going to touch the features that changed. But if you're the kind of person who actually goes off-grid, someone who needs satellite communication on a smaller wrist size for the first time, or you specifically want that new Titanium Pro build, and the faster mapping engine, the Fenix 9 Pro is the clear upgrade. And waiting the extra 3 days for pre-orders costs you nothing compared to buying a watch about to be one generation behind. One more thing worth knowing before you buy either one. Garmin's core GPS mapping and training features have never required a monthly subscription on any Fenix model. That hasn't changed here. The only optional recurring cost is the InReach satellite service itself, which is genuinely optional, not bundled into the price of the watch. If you see anyone claiming otherwise, that's not how Garmin's business model actually works. So here's where that leaves you. The Fenix 8 remains a legitimately great watch that just quietly became a better deal overnight. The Fenix 9 Pro is a real, meaningful upgrade specifically around satellite access, build material, and mapping speed, not just a number change on the box. Buy based on which of those upgrades you'd actually use, not based on which one is newer. If this helped you decide which one to buy, that's exactly what the like button is for, and subscribe if you want the hands-on review the moment pre-orders go live.